Hello and welcome to Evening Morning Guitars. It is the evening and I've got no coffee or tea but just a very nice Belgian beer that I lumped back in a rucksack when I was over there in December. Today we're going to be looking at a particular favourite pedal of mine, which is the Boss PN2 Tremolo pan. It's an old, I guess you would call it vintage now, pedal. This one's from the early 90s. It's Taiwanese, not Japanese, which apparently matters. I'm not sure on the exact differences other than the colour of the label, but this one happens to be Taiwanese. That makes a huge difference to the sound. And it's a pretty simple pedal. It does, I mean, you can see the control panel there, but it does pretty much one thing. And I'm a big fan of pedals that do one thing and do it well. And well, I mean, that's a slight lie, I suppose. It technically does two things. It does a tremolo and it does a pan. But the astute of you will have spotted that it's a stereo pedal, and thus a tremolo and a pan are almost exactly the same thing. The only difference is that when it's running in tremolo mode, you get the pop 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 with the gap specified by the rate. So the volume envelope does peak and then come down to zero, to nothing. There's no sound. Well, or a very small amount of sound when it's on pulse mode, because it's got a pulse and a square wave. So like a whoop-a-doop and a right. Hope you enjoyed that attempt at imitating it. And when it's in pan mode, it moves between both left and right, but without a discernible gap, depending on how you set it. So there is a slight difference. I prefer personally just using the tremolo function. I use that quite a bit, and it's quite commonly, I guess, this kind of effect. You hear it on quite a few old, like 9 Inch Nails records, that sort of thing. Funnily enough, actually, this was on my board, so I couldn't use it for the other day, but I've recorded a cover of Filter's Hey Man Nice Shot to demo the tremolo function of the Janus, funnily enough, and kind of getting an industrial rock, I guess, like that kind of late 90s industrial rock sound. And I didn't have this, but that would have been perfect, because again, it's that sort of square wave tremolo sound, which again you hear on these sort of the records of that time that were trying to make guitar sound electronic. And since it's such a simple pedal, I'm going to pretty much get straight into demoing it. So here we go, let's have a play.
I wish I would have met you. Now it's a little late. What you could have taught me, I could have saved some face. They think that your early ending was all wrong. For the most part they're right, but look how they all got strong. That's why I say, hey man, nice shot. Good shot, man. That's why I say, hey man, nice shot. Good shot,
So that was the Boss Tremolo pan. I think you're going to be able to tell from the demos there that it's not a box like the one of the Zevex, you know, the Super Seek Trem, or any of the Seek Trems that they've done, the Seek Trem 2 or anything, or you know, the EHX Super Pulsar or anything like that, which have lots and lots of functionality, lots of features, lots of ways of playing with it. It's a very, very, very simple pedal. It does one thing, two things, and does them pretty well. And I think that's kind of its main strength, really. I mean, it's also pretty neat. You know, it's got the little rate knob that turns on and off. It's an in-demand enough pedal that Behringer copied it, and there is a Behringer version of this, which is brown, which sort of defeats the object, because half of why this pedal is so cool is that, I mean, that green is just, it's just awesome. I mean, if you're kind of a bit of a pedal collector and you want some cool colours on your board, I mean, this is just sublime, isn't it? But nevertheless, for what it is, I mean, I think this one cost me about £100, so I don't know what that is in dollars. That's probably like 150 at the time, probably maybe more than $150 with the EU referendum vote coming up and the pound going down the toilet. It's probably like $100. but you know, it's not the cheapest pedal, because it's not, you know, there aren't that many of them knocking around these days. So it's not cheap for what it does, but there's something very attractive about how simple it is, and I think that's to be celebrated. But if I was practically on a budget, I would probably get the Behringer equivalent instead. Nevertheless, if you like cool green pedals and you like tremolo, this is a neat box, and you should check it out. I mean, if you find a shop that's got one in their used section, then definitely give it a go. And if you have to go on eBay and have a dig around, then I personally think it's worth it. And shortly after getting it, I wrote loads of riffs with it, and it's just so simple that you don't have any fear or worry about just tweaking around and seeing what happens. And I think those are often the best pedals, because you can just, like the Janus is kind of like the absolute pinnacle of that, where you just play with the joysticks and see what happens, and you know, maybe that inspires you to come up with other riffs and things you might not have thought of, or you are having, you know, helps you get past writer's block or something like that. And I think this is one of those pedals. So anyway, this has been the Boss PN2. I keep saying PN2 like I need to give you the serial number, but the model number, sorry. But anyway, Boss Tremolo pan, cool pedal. This has been Evening Morning Guitars. If you like this, subscribe for more. Apart from that, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.